Find other great podcasts like this one at podmoth.network.
Hey there, fellow true crime aficionados. We're the host of Bad Acts, a true crime podcast. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Aaron.
Join us every Thursday for twisted true crime tales of dark deeds and despicable people. We focus on lesser known, unique stories with a new case each week. We've covered family annihilators, cannibals, revenge killings, killer kids, mysterious murders, survivor stories, and much more. We've even tackled stories of people who blamed zombies, vampires, ghosts, and voodoo for their bad acts.
Of course, we know they're the only ones to blame. You can find us everywhere you get your podcast, or you can visit our website at badaxpod.com.
If you like fresh stories and new perspectives on crime, Bad Acts will be your new jam. Join Bad Acts every Thursday. Stay safe, y'all.
See you soon.
Hey, what's up, you guys?
Hey, what's up, you guys?
I'm Kathryn.
And I'm Hayley.
And we are Saturdays for the Ghouls,
a Podmoth podcast.
How are you, Hayley?
I'm doing great, Kathryn. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Fabulous. You want to know why I'm doing fabulous?
Why?
Because I'm here with you, doing the podcast, talking to the spooky babes.
Oh, that's so nice.
You're like, I thought it was just because you were here with me.
Like, fine. I guess you'll be happy with or without me. It's fine.
No, specifically because I'm here with you. And we are talking to the spooky babes. Anytime I'm with you is the best time.
Oh my God, you need to stop.
We start crying. The whole episode is just being too nice to each other, and then we start crying, and then, like, it's the whole episode. That's the scary part, is when we cry.
Scary part is we show our emotions.
Yes. So I'm very happy to be here with you guys today. It is my day. My topic today.
My turn.
My turn. Yes, it's my topic today. And Hayley last week requested something very specific, being scary locations. Because I gave her the option between true crime or what we normally talk about. She asked for, specifically, she said haunted location. I said, we're going to just spread it a little bit and make it creepy, scary location, etc. Hayley has no idea what we're going to talk about today.
No idea. You're welcome in advance.
I think you're going to like it. These places that I'm going to talk about a few different places. And so it's going to be a high-level overview of those kinds of things. It's not going to be any deep dive into anything. Because you know me, I hate history.
You do.
I always was like, okay, Hayley, you do history, I'll do ghosts.
And then you'd be like, there's literally no information.
Yeah, the ghosts are the hard part to do, but to me is the most interesting, right? So I feel like I'm doing you guys a service by not making it history heavy, because then it probably would be boring because I would feel bored. So I'm doing you guys a favor, to be honest. But I guess we'll hop into it. Do you have anything to tell the spooky babes before we get into everything?
Enjoy the roller coaster ride, maybe.
She says without knowing any of the topics.
That's why I said maybe.
She's like, hopefully, maybe. Okay. So Hayley, today I'm going to talk to you about places that you and I probably would never go, and places that I know that you and I would probably be scared of. And that's why I'm doing it. And it's going to be creepy and scary ocean places, or places in the ocean.
Oh.
So we've talked about the terrifying animals that you might see in the deep depths of the ocean. But now I'm going to tell you about some places in the ocean that are known to be creepy and scary and not a fun place to be. She sounds so excited. I know she feels excited.
I'm like, great, more reason to not go in the ocean.
To be fair, I don't think you'll ever go into these places. They're like people who scuba dive are the people who go there. And it's like a dangerous scuba dive mission. So it's not like a place that you would go to scuba dive like on vacation. Like it's it's like super scuba divers go and do it because they're like, ooh, an excursion. So I feel like maybe these kinds of places are places you'll never be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just, I feel like if you scuba dive on like vacation, you're just gonna go to a place that's made for that. Okay. So I've brought you 1, 2, 3, 6 places in the ocean.
Ooh.
The OG Spooky Babes will know that me and Haley talked about the Bermuda Triangle already. That location is not on this list. So these are 6 other
Ooh.
locations in the ocean that are scary or creepy or eerie, those kinds of things. If you guys want to go listen to the Bermuda Triangle episode, I think it's like episode 7, I'm gonna guess. That's how early it was. I think it was like one of our first like few episodes.
I was like, it was pretty early on. When you said the ocean places, that's the first place I thought of was the Bermuda Triangle. I was like, we did do that one already.
Yes, we did do that one. And in case you guys are scared of the Bermuda Triangle and you guys don't want to go listen to that episode, you know what? It's some scientists say that it's not as scary as any other place in the ocean. So there's no reason to be scared of the Bermuda Triangle. But our episode tells you why you could be scared. Anyway, so we're going to move on. So our first location is the Mariana Trench. The Mariana Trench is located in the Western Pacific Ocean. So this one, out of all of the locations, is the closest one to you, Haley.
Cool.
But it is nearly 36,000 feet down from sea level. So that's 7 miles. Although it's in the ocean near you, you more than likely will never go to the Mariana Trench, right?
Nope.
So, um, this part of the ocean is one of the oldest and deepest parts of the ocean. It's cold and dark in a very high pressure environment. Obviously, the lower you go in the water, the higher pressure. We learned that with the submersive thing. But this one is, again, 7 miles down, which is pretty far, which makes it really high pressure environment. It's largely unexplored because, again, it's very far down and not a lot of, it's very hard to get down there without the correct equipment. And there are bizarre and unknown creatures that live in its depths. We talked about the scary sea creatures that can live in the depths, a place where there's no light, those kinds of things. Those are the kind of scary animals that might live down there. Because those are the only animals that can survive.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah. So it's located near the Mariana Islands, and it's located where 2 tectonic plates collide. When there's an earthquake, it's because the tectonic plates in the ocean collide and it creates an earthquake. That's
Mm-hmm.
where this trench is found. It's 1,580 miles long and it is 43 miles wide, which, just think about it, right? That's pretty far. Like 1,500 miles is pretty far for how long it is. And the water down there can be really cold or it can be like super hot. So you'd assume that the water might be cold because of the lack of sunlight, but there are things down there called hydrothermal vents, and that can make the water go up to 700 degrees Fahrenheit down there, which is also deadly, right? So you
Like
don't
you're
want to
dead.
be in that kind of water or you'll be cooked, literally cooked. So again, it's also a really high pressure environment, and the PSI, which is the pounds per square inch, is 16,000 pounds per square inch. So unless you're in a very sturdy vessel, you would be completely non-existent if you went down there. If your
You'd be
vessel was
just
not sturdy enough, you
be
would just
squished.
squished into fish food. So the deepest point is called the Challenger Deep. It's named after the HMS Challenger, which between 1872 and 1876 was a ship that traveled with the goal to explore the ocean with sounding equipment. And they went almost 70,000 nautical miles and they pinpointed the Mariana Trench during that excursion. On January 23rd, 1960, US Navy made the first descent down to the bottom of the Challenger Deep. James Cameron was the next to go down to the bottom on the Deep Sea Challenger. He wanted to set a record for the deepest solo descent. The trench is deeper than the tallest mountain is tall. The tallest mountain, Mount Everest, is 19,000 feet tall, and the Mariana Trench is deeper than that. We don't know exactly how deep it is down, but it's deeper than the tallest point, which is Mount Everest, which is insane.
That's crazy.
I think that if you just keep going, it goes into the core of the earth. If it's tectonic plates where it meets and that's what it is, would you not just meet the core eventually? That's what
Maybe.
I'm not a scientist, so I might sound fucking like an idiot right now, but to me, if it's plates that are the things that collide and make earthquakes, between those plates, if there's no meeting point, you would just meet the core eventually. I don't know. But that's
Scary.
the Mariana Trench. So it's pretty scary. But again, unlikely that you'll ever go down there, so you won't have to be scared. Yes, Hayley.
It's probably not, it's definitely not important, but I just wanted to let you know it's episode 11.
Episode 11. Dang, I was so close. Thank you for checking on that.
You're welcome.
So, anybody who also wants to hear about another scary place in the ocean, Bermuda Triangle, episode 11. But yeah, that's the Mariana Trench, and we're going to move on. Okay, so the next location is called Point Nemo. And Point Nemo is located in the South Pacific Ocean.
That's so cute. Nemo. I thought you said Nemo, like Finding Nemo.
I did.
But then it's not. Oh, okay. That's even cuter. The second time you said it, it sounded like with an M.
Oh,
like,
no. It's
like the Mexican place, Nemo's.
Oh, yeah. No, it's Point Nemo, Nemo.
That's so cute. I bet it's not cute.
It's not great, honestly. So it's located in the South Pacific Ocean. And when I say South Pacific Ocean, I know you're close to the Pacific Ocean, like all the way south. Okay.
Like Antarctica.
Yeah. So it's known as the Oceanic Pole of Inaccessibility. Okay.
So I can't go there anyway. It's inaccessible.
You could go there. That being said, Point Nemo is the point in the ocean that is the farthest point from any landmass. Okay. So, like, when you are at Point Nemo, in every direction, you are equally as far to any landmass that you could go to. So, if you're stuck in the water, it's going to be a hard time to get out.
At least you just pick a side and go.
Sure, yeah. It's so remote that the nearest humans to this point are often astronauts that pass overhead in the International Space Station.
Oh my God.
That's how remote it is.
Just like help from above.
Yeah. But like the International Space Station only passes over it every so often. So like you have to be lucky enough on the day that the International Space Station is crossing over you. Anyway.
Can you imagine you're just in the middle of the fucking ocean and then an astronaut saves you?
No, I cannot. That would be the craziest thing, actually. Okay. Essentially, it is the most remote part of the ocean, which is why it's so scary, right? You're not getting help at Point Nemo. There's nothing for you out there.
Nobody's finding you.
Nobody can hear your screams, literally.
It shouldn't be called Nemo because Nemo got found at the end.
My gosh. Maybe they called him Nemo because you're never too far remote to be found.
Maybe.
Okay. So, again, it's one of the most remote parts of the ocean. So if somebody fell off of a boat into the water, it would probably be too far to swim in any direction. And because of the remoteness, most marine and air travel don't go within 250 miles of Point Nemo. So they just skirt wherever they can from it.
I was trying to think of like an acronym. No one ever meets over yonder.
Over yonder is one word.
Or out here. Because I was like out here, but that's two words.
Yeah. So it was over yonder, I think.
Over yonder, yeah. I was trying to think of one word.
But here's the brightest side, though. If you were in a boat and fell off in Point Nemo, there's very little life point at Point Nemo. So you won't be surrounded by scary animals at Point Nemo because there's not very much life forms out there. Because the
good.
nutrients are blocked from getting to that part of the water, is what how it was explained, because it's just so inaccessible and remote. The nutrients don't ever get to that part of the water. So anyway, you probably won't be struggling with fish or sharks or bad things if you were in the water. So I guess you just got to wait for the water to take you, or the dehydration, or the sun, or whatever or the freezing temperatures. I don't know which will take you first, but it
I
probably
was
won't be a shark.
no, I was like, you don't have to worry about getting eaten by a shark, but you'll freeze.
Yeah. Also, don't you think that the shark or like a whale or something eating you would be a much faster, quicker death than anything else?
Oh yeah.
Anyway, this part of the ocean is also referred to as a spacecraft cemetery, quote, spacecraft cemetery, because hundreds of decommissioned satellites, stations, and other spacecraft made their re-entered into the atmosphere and fell into Point Nemo to lessen the risk of hitting any kind of inhabited locations.
That makes sense.
So you're in the water and you look down and it's just like spaceships and satellites, space stations. You're
Yeah.
screwed. If you look in the water and there are spaceships down there, you're screwed. And in 2031, you heard me right, 2031, the current International Space Station is planned to crash there too.
Another one bites the dust.
I guess that the space stations only last so long, so they have to be like thrown back down and then throw another one up. I don't actually understand how that works. And to be quite frank, I didn't look it up. Because we're not talking about space today. We're talking about the ocean. We'll talk about space one day. I promise you that.
Just this picture is scary to me.
With Point Nemo?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just nothing.
nothing. Yep. So yeah, that's Point Nemo. Space cemetery. Spacecraft cemetery. See, that's not that scary, right?
No.
Yeah. But it is interesting to me. That's why I want to do this topic.
It is.
Okay. Don't laugh when we talk about this next one. Okay.
Okay.
It has an embarrassing name. She's already laughing.
Why am I already laughing?
The name of the next location is called the Great Blue Hole. I thought at first it wasn't funny. And I was like, okay, just me, okay. Because there's like a slight delay. I don't know why either, but when I looked at it, I was like, wow, that sucks. Why is that called that?
Like, how unfortunate for her.
How unfortunate for her, but she's got a great blue hole though. Okay. It's literally written in the science books. Great. So I don't know why she's complaining.
Oh my god, that's funny.
I know that great is supposed to be a word to replace the word big, but not my problem. Sorry, girl. Anyway, this is located. None of it else was funny. Nothing else is funny about it. Just the name. So it's located off the coast of Belize. Ooh, fancy.
She bougie bitch.
She's bougie. And essentially, it's just a giant marine sinkhole. Okay. And it's. You laughing?
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
But okay. So we're going to talk about how big it is.
How big is it?
It's over 300 meters or 1,000 feet across.
Damn, that's
Okay.
a big hole.
Seriously, it's a great blue hole. And it is 125 meters or 407 feet deep.
Good luck filling that one.
No one could stand a chance.
Nope. Good luck.
Okay, so it is a very popular dive site, but it's also one of the most dangerous dive sites. It's part of the Belize Barrier Reef, which slay. I've assumed that it's a her now, and I'm just like, Queen, go on. Like,
oh my god. Okay.
okay. Okay, it was formed from something called quaternary glaciation. It was a big word for Elmo. So what that means is it's a phase. Did you just get it?
Like, oh, Elmo. That's a big word for Elmo.
Balsamic vinegar. It's a big word for Elmo. Anyway, so that big word is basically phases of going between glacial and interglacial phases or freezes. So it's basically how the water is just freezing and thawing over and over, which made this hole in the ocean. What they said was that it was like a cave at first, and then as the sea levels rose, it submerged the cave underwater. I didn't quite understand that part of it because it's a sinkhole, so I thought it was just a sinkhole. Anyway, so the depth of the water at its lowest point is completely and utterly uninhabitable. So there are no animals down there. And the reason is that hydrogen sulfide, which is released down at the deepest point, and that is a very dangerous toxic gas. And so completely uninhabitable down at the bottom because of the gases down there. Poor girl.
Get that checked.
And there's been many attempts to explore and record what it's like down there. And in 2018, a team went down to map the area using sonar, and they mapped most of the hole and they found the bodies of two divers. They left them there for the burial at sea out of respect, but they did report it to the Belize Coast Guard because they are obviously probably divers that went missing. And many people go today to dive there, but it is really dangerous to dive there because, again, there's the gases, it's super deep, you can get stuck. It's a bad place. But on Discovery Channel, they listed it as one of the 10 most amazing places on Earth. So it can't be that scary if it's on the 10 most amazing places on Earth, according to Discovery Channel.
Check out this amazing blue hole.
Yeah, for sure.
Careful, she's toxic.
But only at the deepest part. And to be
Deep.
real, you guys can't make it down there. Okay. Okay. We'll see you later, Belize. And we're jetting off. Okay. So we're gonna go to the Devil's Sea. The
Ooh.
Devil's Sea is off of the coast of Japan. So we're in Asia now. And there are actually a lot of names for this location in the sea other than the Devil's Sea. They like to call it the Devil's Triangle, the Dragon's Triangle, Formosa Triangle, and the Pacific Bermuda Triangle. Okay. Very similar to the Bermuda Triangle, the Dragon Triangle, or the Devil's Sea is associated with mysterious disappearance of ships and aircrafts. There's legends of sea monsters that live there, supposedly strange lights, volcanic activity, and like rogue waves. Okay. In 1945, a pilot was supposedly flying over the triangle and went missing, and his last message over the radio was, quote, "Something's happening in the sky. The sky is opening up," which terrified me. That was terrifying to hear. That was the last thing that came over the radio. Insane. And in 1955, about 10 years later, the ship went missing, but was thankfully found from that point. Then people started identifying other ships that had went missing in that same area over the last 5 years, and they found that 9 other ships had gone missing in that same exact area, which then created this idea of the Devil's Sea or the Dragon Triangle. But like most places in the oceans that have like legends and things like about it, just like the Bermuda Triangle, it received a lot of criticism. So people have gone to many lengths to prove that a lot of this has no scientific reasons for why it's scary or a mystery or why things go missing. And they also claim that again, it's no scarier than any other place at sea. It's just a place where some bad things might have happened, but bad things happened all over the sea, right? So you take it with a grain of salt. There may have been a lot of ships missing there, but you never know if those things are true, etc., whatever. But that's the Devil's Sea or the Dragon's Triangle. I think the Dragon's Triangle is a way cooler name for it than the Devil's Sea or the Bermuda Triangle. But,
Oh yeah, I like dragons.
yeah. We're going to stay in Japan for a minute here. So we're going to go to the Yonaguni Monument. It's off of the coast of Yonaguni, Japan. And it's this underwater rock formation that some believe to be the remnants of an ancient submerged city or lost civilization. And it was discovered in 1880 or in 1980. At its longest and widest points, it is 50 meters or 165 feet long and 20 meters or 65 feet wide. The monument's origins are like highly debated, though. They have unusual geometric shapes and structures that give it an otherworldly appearance, but the Japanese government doesn't recognize any of the architecture, so it doesn't
Where'd
seem
it come
like it would, yeah, it doesn't seem like it would come from like Japan or ancestors from Japan. And the reason that they assume that it's like a submerged city or something like that is that the formations appear to be man-made because it's made of solid rock and there are carvings on the walls down there. But some geologists claim that it was formed naturally by underwater currents, and the carvings are just like scratches. So there are lots of people that claim that it could be some kind of submerged city, but some geologists also claim that it could be naturally made down there just because of the way the ocean takes away from the rocks down there. If that makes sense?
Like erodes. Like
Yeah,
it
like
erodes.
it erodes it. But the fact is like, how is it eroding it in like step formation? Like that down there are like some people claim that there are like staircases. So like, how did they erode in like that formation? You know what I mean?
Yeah. If anything, it would be like smooth.
Yeah,
It wouldn't
or
be perfect little whoop.
like loops more so than like angles. Anyway, just like all of the other locations on this list, it is a very popular diving location, but there is a very strong current down there that does make the location very dangerous to dive into. I personally wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
You're good.
we're almost done. This is our last one here. That was it for Japan. And we're going to move over to the SS Thistlegorm, which is a shipwreck. This is located in the Red Sea off the coast of Egypt. And this is a World War II British merchant navy ship that was sunk in 1941 by a German bomber aircraft. So it now rests at the bottom of the Red Sea, and the boat was built in 1940, had 3 successful trips before its final voyage, and on June 2nd, 1941, the ship left Scotland towards Egypt. And because of the war, because there had been an influx of like soldiers coming into Egypt, they thought that there were soldiers on that boat being transported into Egypt. And so they dropped 2 bombs on the ship. But the ship was carrying it was a merchant ship. So it was carrying like ammunition, motorcycles, cars. It was carrying big things, not people, right? But because there was ammunition on it and the 2 bombs hit the boat, the ammunition exploded as well, exploding the whole piece of the boat that was bombed, and it sunk. 9 people died in that tragedy, but there were some survivors. People even won awards because they survived and they helped survivors, etc. So that's good that people were able to survive, but unfortunately, 9 people did die in that tragedy. The discovery of the ship was made in 1950 by Jacques Cousteau, and in the 90s, it became like super duper popular for people to go dive there and visit. Like so much so that I think that they had like a resort on the like area. So like it was like a diving resort made for divers to come and go down and see the SS Thistlegorm or whatever. The wreckage is about 30 meters or 100 feet deep. So it's pretty accessible by standards of diving. So like most divers are not scared of a 100-foot dive because you don't actually need like a ton of equipment to do a 100-foot dive. And although there was a large explosion, the wreckage is pretty preserved. So you can see there's cargo trucks and motorcycles and war supplies down there. Like it's all pretty preserved and it's all pretty much down there. And at the same time, the location is pretty eerie because I don't know what wreckage site would not be eerie to go and like search just because it's obviously a tragedy that it happened. But it looks insane down there, like the ship, because basically it's just sitting on the bottom of the Red Sea. Crazy. And those are the creepy, scary places of the ocean. All I got.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you for making me never want to go in the ocean.
I'm just, I have selfishly making the ocean seem like a place that you don't want to go visit, so that selfishly you don't go out to the ocean and leave me forever.
Aw,
You're welcome.
fine. If I go to the ocean, you're coming with me, but it's like a cruise.
Oh, cruise. We better get a drink package. I cannot be out on the ocean without drinks.
Sober.
Yeah. Like if I go on a cruise, I want it to be like all inclusive.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh,
I've
yeah.
watched these people go on cruises and basically they just walk up to these places and they just grab a piece of cake off this counter and you're like, it's free. The drink's free. Everything's free. Some things cost money, like spa things or like extra things like that. But other than that, like all the food's included, all the entertainment really mostly is all included.
That's how
That's the
Cancun
kind of
was.
Yeah. I've never been to an all-inclusive, all whatever. I've never been to anything like that, so that's something that I would love to experience.
It's so fun.
That's all I got for you guys. Hayley, do you have anything to tell the spooky babes before we let them go? What are we going to talk about next week?
We'll see. You could get history. You could get a movie. You never know.
You could do anything you want, though. Okay. So do you have anything to tell the spooky babes before we let them go?
All right, spooky babes. Hopefully you enjoyed all these little
Whatever
spooky
the hell
little...
this was. Sorry.
Whatever. You gave us the great big hole. Or the great blue
Great
hole.
blue hole. You're right. I did.
But join us next week. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but it'll probably be entertaining. Maybe.
Of course it will.
But yeah, hope you enjoyed today and hope you have a good rest of your day, week, month, year, hour, whichever. Yeah, and we love you guys. And Kevin, time for you to do the little the smorgasbord of positivity.
Do you ever feel like Hayley is like a dad that's just like doing their best? That's like I feel like she's only just said I love you this episode, 133 episodes in. Like she normally is, I'm not good at the sappy stuff. Here's your mother. It's like a dad just like doing your best, and I'm just like anyway.
Yeah, that's me. I'm trying.
We truly appreciate you guys for coming and hanging out with us today. If you are listening to this on a audio platform of some sort where you can rate us, if you could rate us 5 stars, that would be amazing and we would really appreciate it. If you can leave a comment, that would be also really cool. We love hearing from you guys. And just remember that you are bigger than your problems are and you can make it through anything that you set your mind to. And we want to see you next week, so please stick around, because as long as you have us, you'll have an episode to listen to. And we will see you
In your great blue hole. No.
Yikes.
In your nightmare.
Oh, and I forgot to say the world's a better place with you in it. Love you. Bye.
Bye.